There's been a ton of competition in the flip phone space, and Samsung has to be worried because we just had the recent Motorola Razr Plus, great phone. But now Samsung is back with the Galaxy Z Flip 6, bigger upgrades, newer design. Hopefully it's going to outdo everyone else. Let's talk about all the new upgrades and changes. Let me talk about the design first. It looks familiar, but it's actually very different. I like what Samsung is doing here. Not only does it feel really light, but it's also solidly constructed. A big change here is with the cameras. You have these accent colors over the camera humps. They match the color of the phone itself. And speaking of colors, I gotta give Samsung credit. They have a slew of new colors, a lot of pastel looking ones. I love this yellow here. And it's just a refreshing take. Even though it has similarities to the previous models, it's a totally different phone for me. I really like how there's a more satisfying snap with the hinge mechanism, and the crease itself is a lot more smooth, so it's not as visible. Not only is it more durable, but it feels a lot nicer to open and close. If you look here at the Flex window, it's actually the same size and resolution as last year, so no big change. But the cool thing is that they've added a lot more personalization, including these interactive wallpapers. You can see as I'm moving around the phone, it moves in motion, it responds to touch, which is nice. And there's just a lot more personalization this time. So before, you could only have one widget on the cover display, but now you have the ability to do multiple widgets at the same time. So here are just some of the widgets. You have your standard ones from Samsung, the calendar, you got alarm clock, all that, Spotify, but you have here 4 widgets, which you can customize. Of course, you can edit them. You got to open up the phone to do that. And just gives you a little bit more convenience as far as accessing what's most important to you. For me, it's all about the information, what's available at a quick glance. So yes, the time is great, the alarm clock, and also the calendar, and also music controls, because I listen to a lot of music, especially YouTube music, sometimes Spotify, but just being able to access those controls through the cover display is a lot more convenient. Right now, I have only 3 apps out of the box that I could actually run through the cover display. So that is Google Maps right there. You have Messages, okay, and then of course YouTube. So in order to run other apps, like I said, Instagram, Facebook, all my social media apps, I'd have to install the Good Lock app. It's more work, but it gives you more utility. One cool feature here with the Z Flip 6 is the ability to create AI wallpapers. So we're gonna do that right here, show you how to do that. Now you have a bunch of different options. You have generative, which is nice because now you just choose what kind of image you want to make. And then from here, it's going to give you a preset suggestions here. I just select which one I want. So for example, instead of jungle, let's do glacier. Instead of avant-garde style, let's do expressionist. Let's generate. And from what I saw, it does a pretty good job. I like it. They're colorful, they're different, and you have a bunch of different options as well. Another really cool feature is called Photo Assist. So basically, you go to your gallery, and I kind of made a bunch of them already. So I took a photo of myself earlier. I'm gonna select this here. And what I can do here is Portrait Studio. Now you have different options here. You have comic, 3D, cartoons, watercolor, sketch. So I'm just gonna do comic. Let's have AI generate these wallpapers or these new custom images, which I can turn into a wallpaper afterwards. Kind of funny, but it's just a little bit different. So check me out, look at that. Powering all these AI features is the Snapdragon 8 Gen 3, the same chip in the flagship line, the Galaxy S24, so I know it's gonna be equipped to handling a lot of these AI intensive applications and processes. I'm pretty confident it's gonna run fine. And as you saw, it loads up all these AI sketches really quick, and the overall feel of the phone with that 120 Hz refresh rate makes it look extra smooth. New to this year is a big upgrade to the cameras. You have now a 50 main and a 12 megapixel ultra wide. So last year with the Z Flip 5, the main camera was only a 12 megapixel camera. So now it's been upgraded to 50 megapixel. They're doing some really neat things, especially when it comes to zooming, which kind of gives you almost that triple camera setup that you find in a lot of flagships. You have the standard camera, you have the wide angle. So with that 50 megapixel camera, you have some zoom range that's pretty usable. Again, making it more convenient for the user. There's this new AI zooming feature where it'll automatically reframe the shot for you. So if you have one person, it'll zoom in, and of course there's more people, like a group shot, it'll automatically zoom out. They'll give you the perfect composition each and every time. I'm really glad about the zoom here, even though technically it's not a dedicated telephoto camera, but with that pixel binning, using the 50 megapixel camera. It's effectively a triple camera setup, which has an advantage over the Razr Plus. And if you just saw my Razr Plus video, this next feature is going to look very familiar. So just like that phone, if you put the phone halfway like that, it gets you into camcorder mode, gives you that nostalgic feel. And when you start recording, you have the zoom controls at your disposal right here. So kind of reminds me of the old school feeling of just using a camcorder. Another big upgrade for the phone is that it has a larger 4,000 milliamp hour battery. That's up from last year's 3,800 milliamp hour battery. When you pair that with the power efficiency of the Snapdragon 8 Gen 3 chip, I can bet this phone's gonna last a lot longer. The Razr Plus right now has the longest time I've tested at over 14 hours, so I suspect that the Z Flip 6 is gonna beat that. Unchanged last year is the wired charging speed of 25 watts, while wireless charging is still 15 watts. Well, that's everything with the Samsung Galaxy Z Flip 6. Again, the price point, it is $1,100. I just hope that its performance, its new features, and all the upgrades make it worth it. On another note, I really hope that they come out with a lower cost version of this phone, like maybe a Galaxy Z Flip Fan Edition or something, because $1,100, that's kind of expensive. I know that's expensive for me. So hopefully they do come out with that and just make it more appealing to a broader audience. What do you guys think? Let me know in the comments below. Don't forget to read my full hands-on article on Tom's Guide. Follow us on social at Tom's Guide. I'm John V, and I'll see you in my next video.